So let's bring everything back. Alt-H. Now what? Have we done this yet? Did we do this? Doesn't look like we have. Okay. Let's go ahead and take the views down to 1. Let's apply it. And let's take a look at what we want to take away here. I think we could take away most of this right in here with the C key, X and faces. And I think what we could also do is take away down here at the bottom. This is going to be against a wall. I don't think we're going to see anything down here. We may not even see anything in the back, but I'm going to leave that just in case we want to put it up against or pull it out from the wall at all. So I'll delete those faces. Now for our seam, we could probably create a seam, or maybe just break this out here. Yeah, let's do that. Let's break this out right here and here. And that will, I think that'll be fine. Let's Control E and mark a seam there. And let's try it. I'll hit A. Oh, did I apply the transformations? I don't think I did. I did not. See there? All right. So Control A, rotation and scale. Hit U and unwrap. Let's try angle based. Conformal. Doesn't really matter. Okay, I'll go with angle based. Now, what I want to do, ultimately I will do the little feet down here, but what I want to do first is delete these pieces right here, because I haven't UV mapped any of these, right? X and delete, and I haven't UV mapped this at all either, so X and delete that. So now I just have the things that I've actually UV mapped. These are the ones I want to keep. Now I want to duplicate these over and fill up the couch with them. So I'll select this and this. Let me go to my top view and my orthographic view with the 5 key. I'll press Shift D and Y and move these over a bit. Maybe I'll just select this and move it over. Try and even these out a bit, like that. And then I'll press Shift D and Y and move these over. Okay. Now this one, if I just press Shift D and Y and move this over here, you can see that the problem is you got that. And that's ugly. So you don't want that. So what I can do is I can actually flip this. I can actually mirror this in the Y-axis. I'm going to hit the 5 key to go back to perspective view. To do that, I can come down here to the object menu, go to mirror, and then choose Y global, and then hit enter. And there we go. Now it's been flipped over. All right. So there we've got our couch with all the pillows UV mapped, which is kind of nice. What we want to do now is join all these objects together and put them all in the same UV map so that we can put all one material, one like this glorious floral pattern over here. So if I just select everything, shift select everything here, now I can join them all together by pressing Control J, and that'll bring them all together. And look what happened over here. Look how this one object, because that happened, it kind of flipped. It kind of changed colors. The reason why that happened is because it was mirrored. And when it was mirrored and then we applied the transforms on it, the normals or the faces are pointing in now instead of pointing out. In other words, we're seeing the back side of the polygons, and we don't want that, because when we take this into Unity or any game engine, you can't see the back of a polygon. In other words, you'll see right through it. It'll be transparent. So this arm of the couch will be transparent, and we don't want that to happen. So what we can do is tab into edit mode. We can hover over this and press the L key to select all linked faces, and we can delimit that by seam or the normals or by material. So if I press material, then it'll select the whole thing because it's a continuous single material over that whole piece of the object. Now I can press Control N, and that will flip the normals or the faces back out again. So now everything's facing out. Okay, so now let's go back to that UV editing view, and if we tab into edit mode and we hit the A key, I'm going to hit this button right down here again. If we hit the A key, we can see that it is a total mess. All the UVs are overlapping each other, and that's not going to work. I'm going to press Control up arrow here. So what we need to do is spread all these UVs out and arrange them so they aren't overlapping. Like I could take this and hit G and move it over here, and then I could G and move this over here, and that would take a while. So we don't want to do that. I'm going to hit the A key to select everything. And what I'll do is use this UVs menu, and over here we have Average Island Scale, and we have Pack Islands. Average Island Scale will take every island in here that is selected, I should say, and make them the same scale and proportion as on the actual 3D object. So I'll press Control A. So that made the big things big and the small things small. And now the trick is to take all these islands with their proportional size intact and fit them into this 0 to 1 space here, right into there, into that gray square. To do that, we can use the Pack Islands, which is Control P. And there we go. Now I'm going to press Control up arrow. We can always rotate them here, like this. I kind of like that, actually. Yeah, I kind of like that. So there we have our UV mapped couch. Now, for the legs, I'm going to have them be a separate object because they're going to need to be a separate material. This is going to be all one material, but the legs here are going to be wood or metal or something other than fabric. So to do that, I'm going to come in here and select all of them and join them together with Control J. I'll tab into edit mode, go to edge mode, and I'm just going to select an edge on each one of these, kind of on the inside. Kind of like this and like this. I'm just pressing Shift here. Control E, mark seam. Now if I select everything with the A key, go back to my UV editing view and press U and unwrap, that unwraps all of them, except it didn't work on 2 of them. Now did it? Which ones did it work on? It looks like it worked on these, but somehow I lost my seams over here. So I'll have to just add them back like that. Mark seam. Now I'll select everything U and unwrap. All right, so there is the feet. Now the last thing let's do real quick before we finish up is let's give these a name and a material. We're going to need a name and a material on each of these. So I'm going to select the couch part, and I see up here that it's currently called Cube 003. I'm going to change this to couch. I'll call this couch fabric actually, and you can see that here. I'll also select the legs and I'll call this couch wood. I'll have that be a wood material. Now over here in the materials panel, I'll click right here to bring up the materials panel, and I'll click new. And for this, for couch, for the wood feet, I'll just paste that name of the object into the name of the material. Same thing over here, I'll just paste the couch fabric name into the material field here. So we have our object names the same as our material names, and that will help us keep things organized as we take things into Unity. So in the next video, let's go ahead and do that. Let's do a test run of taking it into Unity and then we can begin working on texturing it.